I'm Alex, he's Paul, and this is the Charging Status EV podcast. How are you doing, Paul?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. Regular viewers or listeners will realise that Paul isn't Jim. So Jim at the moment is in China with Cherry. He's seeing all the wonderful sights and sounds and the interesting food that China has to offer at the moment. So he'll be back at some point. I'm not entirely sure when, but for now we're going to record this week's episode with me and Paul. So if you don't know who Paul is, do you want to give yourself a little bit of an intro just to let people know who you are and what you do?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm Paul. I'm Gawne in 60 Seconds, which is my channel name.
Fantastic name.
It's a play on words on my surname, and it's the idea was that I would make 60-second clips for social media about what I like and dislike about cars. So 5 seconds, 5 things I love about, and try and record it in 60 seconds. And that's morphed into full driving reviews of cars. And I'm quite new at this. My YouTube channel is pretty new and just starting, really. But yeah, it's all very exciting, and that's me.
Yeah, how long have you been doing it for? It's is it since like May time?
Yeah, so May was my first ever event. I got accidentally invited, I think, to something. And I thought, once you've got the invite, you've got to try and make it work, try and do something out of it, and let's see how it goes, let's see what we do. And it seems to have caught the imagination. Some people have really enjoyed it, so we'll keep plugging away and getting to drive some really fantastic cars. So
nice. Yeah. So far, what's sort of been your most favourite car you reviewed, do you think?
Do you know what, my son was asking me this morning. He was saying, he was telling me what his favourite car was, which surprised me because his favourite was the Skywell BE11.
Okay.
And my favourite so far is probably the Polestar 3, because I really loved the Polestar 4. I thought that was a lot of fun, but the 3 was just a little bit more usable.
Okay.
I felt like the 4 was very wide and almost too wide in some circumstances, but the 3 was just a lot more daily usable, but also really fun to drive. So
yeah, I always get these mixed up because I haven't really driven a Polestar before. But the 3 the one without the back window?
No, the 4 is the one without the back window.
The 4 is the one with the back window. Okay.
The 4 is the newer one with no back window.
Got you. Okay.
And it's like a lower, more sports car type of build, I suppose. But it's still like a crossover SUV, because they're all crossover SUVs, aren't they?
Yep.
But the 3 is just a bit bigger inside and a bit more practical. It's a little bit taller, and it has a rear window, of course, so it's a win.
Nice, yeah. And one car which we've both recently driven, you've still got it with you, I think.
Yes.
It's the I say brand new, it's not really brand new, it's the updated Genesis GV60.
Yeah, well, I suppose it is brand new because people can't buy it yet, can they? It won't be in their homes until next year, will it? It's the 26 release, isn't it? The one we've got.
I'm not sure when it's due to be
facelifted.
delivered to customers. Yeah.
So I think they don't get it until next year, but we are obviously looking at this brand new facelift, and people can order it now, but I don't think it arrives. Their orders will arrive till next year.
Okay. I say not totally brand new because it is a mild facelift of the last version.
Yeah.
And I've driven the last version twice, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's one of my favourite EVs, I think, because it just nails the brief on. It's got some of that sensibility from Hyundai, so it's very similar to like an Ioniq 5 or something, but it just takes it to another level, I find. So how have you been finding the one you've had this week?
Oh, well, I've only had it 2 days so far,
right.
So I've got a little time to go yet, but I think we've got completely different versions. Didn't you have the pure version, which is entry level, if I'm right?
It's the base spec version, yeah.
Okay, and I've got the performance version, which is the bells and whistles and madness that goes with it. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how different they are.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I love the interior, and I love the way it looks on the outside as well. They absolutely nailed it. You're right. I think the interior is super plush, and it just feels really, really premium.
Yep.
Drive, as I said, I've not had it long enough to give you a full verdict, but it's it pushes you back in your seat and takes your breath away when you push down on the pedal.
Yeah, I think the performance, the one you've got, it's got some inspiration from the Ioniq 5N,
Yes.
but it hasn't got quite the level of horsepower. So I think the Ioniq 5N's got around 600 and something, and this one, the Genesis, has got about 500. So they've tamed
Yes.
it down a little bit.
Yes.
But it's still got the fake gear shifts and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
But,
it's got the fake gear shift, it's got the engine noises, it's got
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And it's more than enough, you know. I don't think I could ever want for more power unless I was going to a circuit.
Yep.
But yeah, it's fun. It's really fun to drive.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it in the review. One of my favourite things about the Genesis line of cars is if you look at the Kia or the Hyundai, if you want certain things on the car, the different option things, you've then got a spring for different trim levels of the car. You can't just swap and change.
Yeah.
And that's obviously for cost reasons. But with the Genesis, you can spec pretty much any single option. There's one thing you can't spec on every single version of the car. So if you want rear wheel drive and more efficiency, you can get all the extras and stuff that you would get on the other ones. The only thing you can't get is the performance version is available with a dash cam.
Yes.
It's got a built-in dash cam, which is awesome. So
Yes, and when you turn it off, it says dash cam is recording.
oh really?
So it's like always
Yeah.
recording while you're not in the car. So it's there to, like the Sentry mode, I suppose, on the Tesla, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
if someone tries to have a closer look at it, you're going to get a closer look at them too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Have you reviewed any Teslas just yet, or is that coming soon, do you think?
No, not yet. I've had a chat with a local Tesla dealership who are keen to sort something out, but it's just getting the times set up. So that's coming.
Yeah. Nice. All good. So looking forward, what cars have you reviewed so far? So you mentioned the Skywell, you mentioned
Yeah.
the Polestar 3. What other highlights have you had, and what else have you got planned, do you think?
Okay, so I mean, so far on the channel we've got the Hyundai Ioniq 9 is on the channel. That was quite a short time with the car, but it was long enough to get a proper look inside it. The Smart Hashtag 5, which arrived in dealerships this week.
Oh, wow, okay.
I got a proper look around the Brabus version of one of those. I had a look, actually, in Munich at the IAA at one of those.
Yeah.
But I went to the Smart dealership in Exeter the other day and got a chance. They invited me to go in and make a video. So that was really good. That's a really, really nice car. Very, very good for the money. And it was the Brabus tuned one that I made a video of. So that video is already live. So
Nice.
I've got to admit, I really, really like that car. Not like it's a spoiler or anything, but we're discussing when I can borrow it to take it out for a proper drive, and that'll be quite exciting. I think that'll look great. I've got the Hyundai Insta video probably going live tomorrow.
Okay.
That's good. Obviously, the Polestar one's already on, and I've got a Polestar 3 versus BMW iX video that
Cool.
went live last week.
All right.
Which was great because I had the chance to pit them against each other in like a Top Trump style, which
That's quite fun.
I thought was a fun game
Yeah.
because I would happily live with either of them. So it was really, really difficult to make a choice. It's like choosing between your favourite children. You don't have children, do you? So
No.
you don't have. I have that. I have my children telling me all the time, but I'm your favourite, Dad. And I don't have favourites.
So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, you're quite new to this kind of thing. How are you finding it so far? Because one thing I was struggling with when I started, I think it was like 2 and a bit years ago, was right who to contact to get cars from, all the filming sort of nuances that go with it, all the technical difficulties that you might run into. So, and yeah, how are you finding it so far?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's kind of a behind the scenes video, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, when you get this harebrained idea to start this kind of lifestyle, it's really difficult because all this stuff is kept behind lock and key, isn't it? And you've got to beg and keep begging until you annoy someone enough to give you a car. Now, I feel really, really, really lucky because like Polestar have been really generous. You know, I've had 2 cars for a week at a time. And they're like 70, 80 grand cars sat on my drive that, you know, I've a really small channel really to start with. So I've been really lucky with them. But getting hold of cars is quite difficult, especially when you don't know anybody and you haven't made those contacts. Because I think it's how the press people at the dealerships or at the manufacturers like trust you, and a lot of it is based on how much they like you.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And I don't think I've met enough of them yet to like build those relationships. So the first event I went to was the SMMT Society of Motor Manufacturers Drive Day in May, and I was so excited that I was invited. I just went and drove all the cars. I didn't really talk to anyone. I was like, "Oh, can I drive that, please?" And they're like, "Yeah, here's a key." So I spent all my time just making short videos and driving. Whereas what I didn't spend time doing was chatting to people and building those relationships. And I think that is something that I personally would have done differently if I was going back to do that today.
Yeah.
So I've had to send people lots of emails and hope they don't just fall straight into the shredder.
Yep.
And I think most of them do fall into the shredder. And those that have, like, I've chased people on LinkedIn and added everyone I think I can and tried that way as well.
Yep.
And it's kind of worked because I keep finding myself in cars, which is great.
Yeah.
But another big thing for me was building relationships with local dealers. So my local BMW dealer, I bumped into him at an awards ceremony and chatted to him, and he's like, "Yeah, we can support you. We'll come down and take a car for a test drive for a day and see how you get on." And my first ever full video was a Mini Countryman that he'd lent me for the day.
Nice. Yeah.
And that was like excellent training for me because it was the first one. And it was a really good kind of way in, because then I had something I could show to other people and say, "Look, this is what I think I can do," and I appreciate it's the first one. And then you asked about tech. Well, I mean, everything I filmed so far has been on my phone.
Yeah.
I've got a decent iPhone with 4K cameras and stuff. And I pretty quickly realised I needed to buy some decent microphones because audio was killing it in the first couple. It was really bad. And then I bought some Rode Bluetooth mics. And then I've just bought some new cameras. So I've just bought an Osmo Pocket and a new GoPro so I can upgrade and get better, because you always want to get better, don't you? And provide slightly better content, especially now I feel like I'm taking it a little bit more seriously, and I've now started to dream that this could perhaps be a real job. Yeah. So I think, that's kind of behind the scenes. That's exactly where we are. And it's constantly trying to improve and get into more cars, isn't it? And enjoy more different feeling cars and being able to articulate that. So
100%. And the thing I was interested in is because we met each other in person at the Munich Motor Show a few months ago.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to ask you what sort of motivated you to get into car reviews, because I know for me it was I was super interested in cars. I just wanted to drive more new cars. If I ever took my car into test car to get serviced, they'd give me a loan car, and I thought that was so exciting. And I just really wanted to drive more cars, and that was not the be all and end all, but it was one of the motivating factors. Is you get to test drive all these cars. So what was it for you? Because
do you know what? My story's bonkers, and strap yourself in. So as a little lad, which is a very long time ago now, and I think I'm quite a substantial amount older than you, I absolutely loved cars, and I've always loved motorsport, especially F1. And when I got into my teenage years, the internet was just becoming a thing. Yes, I am that old. And I started blogging about Formula One. I got invited to some events, and I ended up going to like the Mercedes launch and all sorts of things over the years. And I got to a point where I could either crack on with that or do a real job and actually see my children. And I chose to stay at home and see my children and have a real job, just because I thought that's probably more important, and I'd certainly regret it if I disappeared off and did other things. But the passion for cars has always been there. Now, the mad thing is at the age of 41, I took and passed my driving test last year in January. So I've only been driving just under 2 years.
Right. Okay.
Because I've always lived near where I've worked, and I've always seen it as just I desperately want to drive, but I've got children and I'd rather spend the money on them and do things, and I've just never got round to it. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I booked my test. I did my theory test and just booked my test, and I phoned up a driving instructor and said, right, I want this many lessons and I want to do my test on this date, and within 3 months I'd passed.
Fair play.
And that was it. My first car was a Ford Galaxy, which I know isn't electric or fun, but when you have so many children, yeah, absolutely. Dad car is exactly where I am. And I had that, and it was a bit beaten up when I got it, and that's fine because it was my first car. And I bought and sold a few cars since then because I got bored of that after 6 months, and it needed a few bits doing, so I sold it to someone else and bought something else, and then I got bored of that and bought something else and sold something else. And my daily at the minute is a Land Rover, but the passion for trying lots of different cars and just driving things has always been there. So yeah, I find it really, really exciting. Every time I sit in a new car, I'm excited to find out about it and work it out.
Yep. Yeah, that won't go away for quite a while, I don't think, that feeling. So
that's never going to go away, is it? Because every time you get in a car, there's something new to learn and explore. Yeah.
And you have to pick it up very quickly, because I live in the middle of nowhere, so I take, for those who don't know, when you get these cars from the manufacturers, they usually get delivered to you, so someone will drive by himself or herself, and then they have to get back somewhere, so you've got to take them back to the train station. So
absolutely that.
So you sort of you get in the car for the first time is driving some stranger back to the train station. So brain's got to work very quickly to work out how this car works. So.
It's funny because I had that even this morning. It's mad. The first car that I ever had delivered was a Polestar, and that was delivered on a low loader. It was actually delivered on a trailer.
Right.
And that was great. That was cool. And then the next car that I had delivered was, I can't remember which one it was now, but he just turned up with it.
Yep.
Do you want to drop in at the station? Oh, that'd be amazing, thanks.
Yep.
And I live down here in Devon, where everything's a bit more rural. Yep. So it's, like you're in the middle of nowhere and it's all good fun. But I had one guy turn up with a folding bicycle.
Oh, no
in
way.
the back of the car. I was like, don't worry about that. I'll take you to the station. It's not far.
Yeah. Mad, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, it is interesting how certain people get into this kind of thing. But as you were saying earlier, I think me and Jim have had this conversation before, but no one is there to sort of give you any advice or anything. I've been quite lucky because Jim's given me advice along the way, but and I think it is needed, I think. And because it is it's a bit unknown.
Jim's brilliant. He's a good laugh as well, isn't he? And I must admit, when I went to that first test day, I messaged Jim beforehand, and I wasn't sure whether he'd reply, and he did. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm there, and I'll chat to you." And we met and had a chat, and he was just so kind and helpful. Mm-hmm. So that really helped the confidence as well. So
yeah, because I don't know if you've been to any. You probably will at some point some brand launches.
Yeah, not yet.
No, but,
no one likes me enough for that yet.
But Jim's always mentioned, I don't think that problem goes away for him, is the fact you feel like an imposter at those things. And I think even still, I think a lot of people probably feel that, especially independent people like me and Jim, because there's all the people from the magazines which are there, and all the big people. So
yeah, but they turn up in packs, don't they? They turn up with their camera person and their and their sound person and all those sort of things, or there as a group, and then they go and do their things methodically as they do, and we turn up and we're just like, I think I'll have a go in that, and I'll see how it goes. But you do feel like an imposter because you see all the people that you've seen on TV and YouTube for years, and you think, what am I doing here? I watch your YouTube channel. What am I doing here?
Sort of some cars for 2026. What kind of stuff are you hoping to cover? Is it obviously this electric car podcast, but are you more interested in one or the other of you very, very open-minded in terms of what you review? Because I'm very open-minded, even though me and Jim do an EV podcast. But
no, I'm really open-minded. Like at the moment, I've got the Genesis GV60, and I've had an Isuzu. Is it Isuzu or Isuzu? I don't know how you say
Isuzu.
Which is it? You should have a vote or something.
Yeah.
Is it Isuzu or Isuzu?
No idea.
A D-Max truck on the drive.
Oh, sweet.
And that's like a big diesel truck. And I'm really excited about driving that. But I am quite passionate about electric mobility. I must admit, I love EVs, and I always have. In fact, where I used to work, in my day job, we bought electric vans to do our local deliveries.
Oh, no way.
And I'm going back to them in a couple of weeks to do a video where we get both of the vans together and talk about how compelling it is to buy a used EV as a van. Okay. They've got like Nissan ENV 200s, which are
the early ones,
a few years old now, and they've got like 80-mile range.
Yep.
But for them who deliver everything within 3 or 4 mile radius and just shuttle between stores, it's really, really useful and a really compelling purchase, especially if you can pick one up now at a couple of grand. So we're going to do a video on those, and I think that's really exciting me, just as much as a brand new 70 grand Polestar was on the drive, and I love it. And I think I've always been into like even Formula E racing as well as Formula One, because I do love the electric racing, and I do really care about the environment and how the electric mobility is helping. A spoiler alert, I've got a video coming that I haven't filmed all of it yet, on electric buses.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I've been behind the scenes at the local stagecoach depot. And they've just had the deliveries of new electric buses that go live later this year. And we're going to explore how cool they are and how much better for the environment they are, and better for the passengers and better for the company. And it's like 50 million quid's worth of investment. And I think that is really exciting also.
Yeah, it's huge, because I used to get the bus, and then it'd be very, 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 very vibrating in the back. And then if you'd walk in the town next to the buses, it just smells. So that as a sort of a selfish point of view, this would make things quite quieter in the town, wouldn't it? So
it's a game changer. It really is. And if you get on a bus in Torbay, you'll hear my voice on the bus, because I do the voiceover announcements for the next stop announcement.
Oh,
so you'll hear my voice. Yeah, you'll hear me just saying, the next stop is, and it'll just be like that. So yeah, that's a face to the name, if you like. But that's quite exciting going forwards, and I think that'll make a really interesting video. Not that I'm allowed to drive a bus, but I know many people who are, and I think it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, especially at this place, then they've got. Is this in quite a big built-up town, or is it a bit more rural? Or
so the depot is in Exeter, which is a city.
Oh, yeah.
But the first depot that will turn electric is Torbay, which is Torbay, Paynton and Brixham, which is where I live. And that's going to be the first depot in the southwest to turn completely electric.
Wow.
And the buses for that have started arriving, and the infrastructure is currently being built. So it's definitely exciting. There's a lot into it as well. There's a lot of work that goes into the background of how you prepare your bus service to take that kind of change.
Yep.
Especially when you've got people who have driven buses and taken buses for years, and you're used to running them in a certain way, and it has to be done very differently.
I can imagine, yeah. I could only just imagine also the local paper sort of reaction to it as well.
Yes, it'll be when the first one breaks down and someone with a diesel generator needs to turn up in a diesel van to plug it in or something. That'll be when the paper gets excited. But it's going to happen. You know, it's going to happen where someone thinks, "Oh yeah, I don't need to stop at this charger. I can go to the next one," because the drivers are a breed, aren't they? And it'll be
Yeah. There's lots of different areas which can go electric. So I haven't I filmed the video, just haven't edited it properly yet. But last week I drove an electric tractor
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't quite finished the video for that yet, so it should be out at some point on the channel. But so one of the tractor manufacturers called Fendt. I don't know how well people know tractors, but they've essentially got the first 2 electric tractors in the UK that they sell.
Wow.
Everyone else is a bit far behind in the brands, but that was quite exciting. And what was quite interesting to me is that they were really keen on making the what do you call it, compatibility with other implements and all the infrastructure goes with it exactly the same, because they were quite surprised that people were driving it and thinking, well, this isn't very different, and they were like, good. Like,
yeah, it's not meant to be. You know?
So
that's amazing.
That was
surely it makes loads of sense, because you've got all that torque.
Yeah.
To move the wheels.
Yep.
That is traditionally the bit that the engine has to push in and do so much for. So
yeah,
surely the hardest bit of getting a tractor moving is way easier with an electric motor.
Yeah, it was very smooth, very quiet. What's quite interesting to me is that they've still got a gearbox. There's like a transmission
low range,
system.
high range. And
well, no, I couldn't quite work out how it worked. There's got a transmission in between the electric motors and the wheels, and then for those, this is going to get very into it now, but tractors have what are called PTO systems for driving, I don't know, a mower or something, and traditionally that is coming off the engine, but they've fed that system directly off the motors. It doesn't go via the gearbox, but a load of work has gone into it, a load of engineering, and it's promising. But the 2 downsides: one, they cost $100,000 more than a diesel, and roughly they do about half the amount of work time than a diesel can do before it needs charging again.
Oh,
but
okay.
that's like 5 or 6 hours versus 10. So, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
And for a lot of use cases, it can be quite successful.
Yeah, and then I suppose you need to look at the cost to charge it compared to the cost of the diesel.
Yep. Yeah, that's one thing I was going to work out before I publish the video is getting that sort of stuff nailed. But it's promising though. For one of the very first ones on sale in the UK, it's pretty cool. So
yeah, that's really interesting. I'm looking forward to that video already. I want to see that.
But yeah, I did like a little interview with. Well, I didn't do much. I did some talking in the video, but one of the product guys walked me through all the bits and pieces and showed me how to drive it, and so it's more of a interview / sort of me driving the tractor sort of thing. So
now you asked me before I got sidetracked talking about buses.
Oh yeah.
About cars in 2026 and what I was most looking forward to. Is there anything you're particularly looking forward to? Is there a particular car that you're really excited by?
Well, it's the very end of this. You mean ones I'm going to review or ones that are coming out?
Ones that are coming out that you'd like to review.
Oh,
maybe.
The new Polo. The new electric Polo.
The ID Polo.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that naming structure makes so much sense as well, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so much better. Yeah.
Instead of 3, 4, what is it? Everyone knows what a Polo is.
Yep.
Everyone knows what a Golf is.
Yeah. I think the ID3 I drove to Germany, it was a very good car, but it was lacking something. So it was lacking a little bit of character, I think. And I think based on the interiors we've seen from the ID Cross, which is going to bring back some of that nicety that VW have had before. If that's going to look like that in that Polo, I think that'll be a winner, I think.
Yes.
And small electric cars are something that interests me greatly. So I've got the Insta coming up in a few weeks. I reviewed the Renault 5 and that was insane. It's just so good. So
I see. I liked the Renault 5 to look at. I thought it was a little bit clumsy in how it was delivered, like in terms of how it felt to actually drive. I thought it looked better than it drove.
Yeah, I think Jim said the same thing. He wasn't too impressed. But the takeaway I had was that that car is essentially replacing the Zoe, and the Zoe was never amazing to drive either. So I think with that car they've made it really like sexy and appealing by the exterior.
Yeah.
And then to drive it is just a car. So I think they kind of I think that's kind of fine, and it's super efficient as well, which is good. So, but these small electric cars are one of the most exciting areas of the market because you just get so many SUVs now. So,
and it's a really growing segment, isn't it? Like,
oh yeah,
so many people are starting to cotton on and starting to nail it. Like, I mean, I know you've not had the Insta yet, but it's such a cool looking car.
Yep.
And I've driven it, and I can attest to it being much better to drive than the Renault 5 was. It's a lot of fun. And it looks fun and playful as well.
Yep.
And I think you want that, don't you? You want fun, playful cars rather than everything just looking formulaic.
Yeah. And as you drive, well, as people sort of, if you drive a Hyundai or Genesis or something, there's a little sort of synergy between the brands in terms of how the UI works and how the infotainment system works.
Yes.
So if you do happen to have a car from each brand or something along those lines, it sounds stupid, but there is a bit of family tree sort of stuff working with those cars, which I quite like. So, because even the little Kia Picanto, there's certain elements which work the same as a Genesis, for example, which I quite like. So
yeah, I must admit I was quite pleased that when I got into the Genesis, the button to turn off the speed limit warning was the same push and hold button as it was in the EV3 I drove.
Yep. But yeah, what about you? What cars are you looking forward to that are going to launch next year?
Ah, yeah. See, now I asked the question back to you because I still hadn't thought of an answer.
That's smart. That is. That's smart.
Yeah, I know. But then you're supposed to think of an answer by the time it comes back to you, aren't you? Do you know what I saw at the IAA in Munich on the Xpeng stand, and now know it is coming to the UK? Is there? And you're not going to guess this before I say it, but it's their people carrier.
Oh, is it called the G9?
Yeah, I think so. But it was proper plush. And you see these in Japan and China, and you see them everywhere. And if you want one here, you have to import it and stuff. Like the L Grand and stuff like that. But it's a real one being released in the UK.
Oh, sweet.
That's good. I'm really excited about that because it's kind of ticks all those boxes. Like, great for the family. It's like a van when you've not got the family in it. But it also looks really cool and futuristic. So I'm quite excited about that.
So do you find then when you're carrying your kids around that an MPV type of vehicle is a bit more practical than an SUV sometimes then?
Yeah, well, like I said, my daily is a Land Rover, which has got 7 seats in it. And when they're not in it, it's a van, basically. So I can go and put all my kit in it and go and do a DJ gig somewhere with all of my gear. Or you can take all the family away in comfort and still have room for luggage. So I haven't driven the EV9 yet, actually, to be honest, and I'm led to believe that will have has a similar kind of property in terms of being huge and really good to drive and all of those things. So that is something I'm keen to get into. But the Ioniq 9... Actually, I suppose it's the same car, isn't it? Just
it is pretty much, yeah.
That was excellent. That's I could see myself driving that as a daily car.
Oh yeah,
to replace the Land Rover.
Nice. Yeah, those sort of they're. I think when I drove the EV9, it was last year sort of time. It had good efficiency, but it wasn't. I think at that point I'd driven a good amount of EVs, but I hadn't driven enough, if you know what I mean. So I hadn't quite understood the efficiency side of it, but it was getting like 2.5 to nearly 3 miles per kilowatt hour. I was thinking, But then when you think this car is going to rival a massive diesel Range Rover or something along those lines, or big V8 Range Rover, and it's going to cost you so little to actually run it in reality, then it doesn't actually matter that much. So
absolutely. And on that very subject, I drove a Polestar 3 to Newcastle and back.
Oh yeah,
which is 400 miles each way. Now, I wasn't taking the family, so I didn't need the Land Rover, but I'm really glad I had the Polestar, because if I'd have taken the Land Rover, it probably would have cost me best part of £200 in diesel.
Yeah.
And the Polestar, I was really lucky because I just did one top-up charge on the way and one top-up charge on the way back. And it probably cost me in total about £100 in charging, because I did charging at like public charges, but that was 800 odd miles.
Yep.
And I got home with another 100 miles still on the car, so it was like half the prices it would have been in the Land Rover.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice any inconvenience. I let the car choose where to stop, and both times I pulled up at a Tesla supercharger, just plugged in, went for a coffee, went to the toilet, and by the time I came back I was charged enough to go. And when I booked where we were going, I booked somewhere that had a charger.
There
So
you
it was no hardship. You just click that button on hotels.com and it came up. Or
Yep.
Airbnb it was actually, sorry.
Yeah.
And there was somewhere that came up. So it was no planning at all. No stress, just go. And it was the most relaxing drive I've ever done. And for me, it's the furthest I've ever driven in one go. And it was just really, really relaxing. It was a fun drive to have.
Yeah. One thing I found about doing long distance journeys in an EV is that compared to, I've got a Up as my daily driver, it's an Up GTI, so it's not the most quietest inside, it's quite a cheap car. And I find I can do probably double the distance without feeling as tired, and you can get out the car at the very end, and it's like you really haven't done it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I always find it's just a more relaxing way of getting about, to be honest. So
Yeah, I mean, the Land Rover is great in that it's like driving your sofa, but it is like driving your sofa whilst being hit around the head with a pan, because it's super loud and it is like tractor loud, isn't it?
yeah,
And then I remember driving to Gatwick in it, and it was pouring down rain, and you could hear the wind and the rain noise and everything, and it was horrific.
yeah,
But no, in the Polestar it was just silent and just cruised all the way up and back, and it was really, really nice.
yeah. Pretty good. Yeah, yeah. It's surprising. So I was going to ask you what brand of chargers you used, and if it was, I was going to say try out the Tesla ones because they're really cheap. But you've already done that. So
Yeah, and it was interesting actually because I'd never used one before.
Yeah.
So to anyone that's never used one and is unsure about it, I just went up to it, plugged it in, and I pinged my card on it, and it took 20 quid off me.
Yep.
As like a pre-authorization, and it was just 20 quid. And then by the time I came back and I left the charger, it told me, oh, it's going to be £35 or whatever. And then the rest just came out of my bank 2 days later.
Yep.
It was seamless. There was no stress. There was no apps to download.
No.
I don't have a Tesla app. It was just ping, away you go.
Yep.
And there was no worry about it not working or anything like that. It was just super, super simple. So you'd have to recommend that if you're going anywhere that has Tesla chargers. It's just so easy.
Yep. No, agreed. When we drove, I've mentioned this on my podcast before, but when we drove to Germany, all I used was pretty much, I think, apart from one or two hotel chargers, was Tesla chargers.
Yeah.
And it was super easy. What I did is I paid for the membership, so it gives you, I think, 10 quid or something, and you get a big discount on the charging. And after one charge, it sort of pays for itself. So you get the same prices as what Tesla owners would get at that price. So
Okay. Yeah, that makes
good.
sense.
Yeah.
I think what I need to do is buy a really old Tesla and get free charging for life. That would be good.
Yeah, Johnny Smith has just done that.
Oh, yes, he has.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good idea. There's quite a lot for sale with free charging, so it's a good idea.
Yeah, and the batteries do last forever, don't they?
They last for a very long time. Yeah, a lot of them are 10 years old roughly now that are for sale with free charging. But I found out the only issue with that is that apparently if the car's gone back into Tesla ownership, like as a trade-in, then they wipe out the free charging. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cheeky, isn't it?
So it has to stay in the sort of public ownership.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's cheeky, that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that is a good place to end.
Okay.
If people want to find out more about you and your channel, just remind everyone what your channel was called.
So it's called Gawne in 60 Seconds. That's all one word. And Gawne is spelled Gawne. Gawne in 60 seconds.
It's amazing. I love.
I'm sure Alex will put in a link in the in the show notes.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description on the YouTube video, and if you're listening to this on Apple Podcast, there'll be a link there as well. I do like these clever names with the channels because there's a guy I know. He's called Naveed, and his channel is Naveed for Speed.
Oh, I like that.
It's amazing. It's great. So these clever channels are quite a good idea. So yeah, thank you so much, Paul, for standing in for Jim, because Jim's
anytime
exploring China at
it's
the
been
moment,
really good fun.
Yeah, and we'll have to do this again sometime. But yeah, it's been really good. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for inviting me.
See ya.
Thank you.